Coming up, it's the Bengals looking to avoid their 7th straight loss to the Ravens. Can Cincinnati prevent another sweep? Find out next on EA Sports.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. The enthusiasm of this Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd. And they're all set as they'll match up with the Baltimore Ravens. To my left, Charles Davis. And Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They come in off another victory a weekend ago. That ran their win streak up to 7 now.
And I think that win last week established them as Super Bowl frontrunners. They're playing with confidence and swagger, and you need that to go a long way.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, it's been perfection so far. They come in here unbeaten at 14-0.
And just 2 wins away from doing something only 2 teams have ever done. But the most important thing for them now is to make it to the postseason in one piece.
Season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They're led onto the field by their big mobile quarterback. He can throw it, he can run it, Colin Kaepernick.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. Before a touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. And the Ravens offense set to take over and led by a man still just in his 4th season in the NFL, the 2019 MVP, Lamar Jackson.
And what he's thinking about right now is first down, let's find a way to make a big play. Because when you get a sudden change situation and that defense has to rush onto the field unexpectedly, you might catch them having a defensive breakdown or not quite prepared.
And it was really sudden after the first play picked off. A nice opening right away as he'll maneuver his way up to the 32-yard line. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. And the numbers for Latavius Murray last time out. 23 carries, 90 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, we know they've clinched a playoff spot, but there's plenty of football left to play, and I'm a proponent of continuing to do what you've done throughout the season, especially with teams that are heavy run teams, because if you throttle back too early, you lose the rhythm of the run game, not just with the runner, but with the offensive line as well.
And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
First and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. They'll try to run it in, going option right. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. On 2nd and goal, Jackson flushed out right. And that'll be caught. Touchdown, Ravens. It's Hollywood Brown.
Good job, good job.
Hollywood Marquise Brown. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Ravens have taken the early lead.
He was able to move around and found some vision to throw the football. And how about how he ended it? Boy, he had some zip on that throw.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have an arm like that. Results in the touchdown here. Great play offensively. Jackson here, he's going to look to throw. It's caught. And it's 8-0. So they're able to throw it in for the two-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense. That's 2 points for them, but he identified an open target and put it right on him.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Now Colin Kaepernick in the offense heading back out onto the field. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. One play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. And I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break.
The numbers for him from a week ago: 4 catches, 51 yards.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is the #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. So, Charles, this defense, they definitely know that they've got their hands full here going up against a group that has won 7 straight. What's the key for them in this ball game?
Well, we asked their defensive coordinator that very question, and the response was, we have the mindset that they actually have to react to us, not the other way around. So it sounds to me like the plan is to do the attacking and not wait to see what they present to them.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline.
Let's go. Let's do this.
The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
And Charles, you think about this offense, and it's kind of a tricky time of the season because you're 14-0, looking to see this one out to the end, but you start to run into situations where guys are getting a little banged up. Maybe could use some time sharing, some time on the bench just to rest. How do you approach the rest of this regular season?
I'm telling you, you don't ask the easy stuff, do you? I mean, you created a heck of a...
Fighting through, and he's got space. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. Well, you don't expect too many quarterbacks to be adept at breaking away from would-be tacklers, but this is uncommonly good right here as he's able to get away.
Yeah, and at the risk of sounding just a little bit trite, this is just a tackle that needs to be made. It's one thing when you've got a bruising 230-pound running back coming your way, but when it's a quarterback who's running for his life, your teammates will tell you, you've got to get him on the ground.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. This one caught by his tight end, Andrews. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. 1 quarter down, 8-0 the score. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for first and goal. They'll try to run it in with Murray. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. Not something you want to see in week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. From the 2 now, second and goal. Jackson now. And that'll be caught. Touchdown, Ravens. It's Hollywood Brown. Marquise Brown with his 19th touchdown, his second of the game. And the Ravens will add on to their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. And for them right now, not a done deal. They are holding down one of the final 3 wildcard spots with 2 weeks to go. But, you know, there are others, Charles, kind of nipping at their heels a bit.
And, Brandon, it's always worth keeping in mind, and I have to keep writing it down for myself. Remember, it's 7 teams in each conference now making the playoffs. So that brings more important games to the end of the season. So, in theory, more teams alive for a postseason berth later in the year.
To throw, Kaepernick. He's going to let one fly for Tate. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Kaepernick now to throw. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, these 2 teams hooking up for the 2nd time this year. They first met back in October, week 7, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Now this one into the hands of the tight end, Hayden Hurst. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Mixon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down. Now Joe Mixon. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense.
And he's going to go down. It's a sack on Kaepernick. Calais Campbell, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. Now after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. Not something you want to see in week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. Here's Matt Bosher now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. They begin the drive with a run by Murray. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 2nd and 9, Jackson. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. 1:53 remaining in this first half of play. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. A handoff. It's Murray. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 40 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They go back to Murray on 1st down. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Larry Ogunjobi there to make the tackle. On 2nd down, it's Murray. And they'll get to him just inside the 15. Even after the strong run we just saw, they're able to corral him quickly defensively. Here's Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. To return it, Darius Phillips. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. Some critical games going on as teams fight for those final playoff berths. Let's get you around the NFL here in a busy Week 16. We'll begin up at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Baker Mayfield leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we'll head down to Charlotte to check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And you can see they trail in that matchup against the Tampa Bay Bucks. Tom Brady, sharp as ever. He's got 2 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And in that one, it's the visiting Giants who have the lead. The Giants still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Next, they look at the next-gen stats for the Ravens in that first half, and the ground game has been a big part of why they have this big lead. And you have to figure they'll lean on it a little bit more in the 3rd and 4th quarters. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they did not have the same kind of success on the ground. They struggled to get the run game going to this point, as you see there. These 2 teams making their final adjustments for the second half. And to bring it your way, we go back up to Cincinnati and Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. As we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. On the return, Devin Duvernay. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. Flush to his right. He's going deep for Brown. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. Well, for Lamar Jackson, we know all about how dangerous he is running the football, but he can really sling it as well, and he connects on a big one there.
And this offense has really just been humming all game long, so to me, they're just saying, we want to finish this one off in the third quarter so we can coast home in the fourth. And this is just a tremendous play, something we've seen time and again from this offense.
And that throw, wow, 72 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats. Murray diving for the end zone, and he'll get there. Touchdown. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
John Harbaugh thought about it, and now his guys are going to go for the two-point conversion. They'll look to throw. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for two in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Mixon with a first down carry. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Now Kaepernick. Able to find Higgins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. To throw, it's Kaepernick. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. Now it's Mixon running right. Calais Campbell on the stop.
Well, they certainly haven't been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
On 3rd and long, it's Kaepernick. This goes out wide for Mixon. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. They're going for it. It's Kaepernick. Slant pass to Boyd. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Heck of a 4th and short conversion. They end up getting north of 20 yards. On play action, it's Kaepernick. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Malik Harrison coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Now, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
Yeah, and this time it's going to come from the middle linebacker, because watching the linemen, it seemed to me that they thought he was going to drop back into pass protection, but he surprised them and came on the blitz instead and had a pretty clear run to the quarterback.
And as we check the next-gen stats, that play lasted just 2.7 seconds from beginning to end. Just not enough time to throw the football. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Kaepernick going to throw, staying on his feet. And he'll take this into the end zone for Bengal TD. Colin Kaepernick taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Bengals are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that'll cut the lead down to 18. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all, and if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. They go with Murray again. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down. These two teams met in Baltimore, you might remember earlier in the year, with the Ravens winning that game. So a win here in Cincinnati would give them the season sweep 2-zip. He'll have a 1st down inside the 10. 85 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Jackson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit, because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the 1st sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
2nd down and goal. Jackson eluding the pressure, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Ravens are moving closer to a 15-0 record as they extend their lead here. Now, this defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number 1.
It should be number 1, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped. And
now they're going to fake it. And he'll be out of bounds well short of the goal line, so the attempt at the fake extra point unsuccessful.
Another not asking me, but I'll give you my opinion anyway. I think it's time to erase that play from the call sheet. I guess they figure with the big lead they can experiment a little bit. But all in all, just go ahead and put that play on ice.
Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. Now, they were ultra confident coming in, that's for sure. They had won 7 straight, but number 8 not looking to be in the cards right now. He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. Not much there, only a yard. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
You got three down. 41 Mike.
Now Kaepernick to Mixon on the check down. Give him 7 on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. To throw is Kaepernick. And that is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? Now they'll run. Murray. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
And they've got it. They recovered it. But hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down. Well, they were a little too excited to get the football, touched it before it went 10 yards.
And that's so difficult, isn't it? Because sometimes it can just take a bad hop and veer into your lane or into your body. In this case, though, they touched it before 10. Illegal touching is the call.
And he's going to go down. It's a sack on Kaepernick. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Here's Kaepernick to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Here's 3rd and long. Kaepernick needing a big play to counteract the sack. Working from the gun. It's Kaepernick. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Oh, had his hands on it. Couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's Matt Bosher now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. Flushed out right. He's going deep for Brown. He's got a man, complete. And he's finally taken down, but not before he reaches the 14. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. To throw is Jackson. And he's got it. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the one touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for Baltimore, they are now 2 wins away from a perfect regular season as they move to 15-0. And they'll return home next week to take on the LA Rams. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, it's a tough blow to their playoff aspirations as they drop to 9-6. And they'll get a home date next week against the Kansas City Chiefs.